Yes, guys, welcome back to Football United TV. Here comes the intro. Yes, guys, welcome back, and we're here for another episode of Gunners from All Corners. It's your guy, it's your host or sub-host, like subbing in for Charlie, who's still away. Big up to him. Hope he gets well soon. Hope he gets things sorted soon. And yeah, it's me, Steven from SFeatleyTV once again. I've got Welsh Gooner here with us, and surely there's going to be more coming on as we go forward. But I'm going to start with you. How are you, mate?
Not bad. Yourself?
Yeah, not doing too bad.
Good.
Keeping my mind off Arsenal a lot of the times. So,
Same.
yeah, I think you have to, otherwise you start getting insane.
Exactly, yeah.
So, yeah, but obviously we're going to start with, we're going to start in-house, really, with Smith-Rowe's new contract. Smith-Rowe signed a new contract, which was on the cards, and unveiled as the number 10 shirt, which is like one of the worst kept secrets in history. So yeah, a lot of people like having an opinion about him getting the number 10 shirt. What's your opinion on it? Because I'm not too bothered.
No, same here. At the end of the day, he's Arsenal through and through, and that's what you want. There's been too many passengers over the years that have just been there for the money, and you know, you've got someone now, basically like Jack Wilshere, who loves Arsenal, and you know, I think he deserves it as well. No fairness, he's given 100%. Don't get me wrong, he's still got to improve, but you know, at the moment, it's like unless you're going to spend millions on another number 10, it's, you know, he's probably the best option really for us at the moment.
Yeah. I think he is at the minute. Obviously we're trying to look at other options as well, but like if he's been there and like last season, for me, he was one of the sort of shining lights out of the season.
Yeah.
But I would say he's more been front at the deep end, because like Willian was not fit, so that's probably why he was introduced into the side. Because I think Arteta had no one else to turn to, and he performed admirably against Chelsea, and ever since then. So though he's not the answer to our problems in that area, I think, yeah, if he like is, I think he's entitled to number 10 shirt since he's been there the whole time fighting for it. So
exactly. At the end of the day, it's an iconic shirt, and I'd rather it go to him at the moment because, as I said, he's Arsenal through and through. There's no one else really, and as I say, unless you're going to spend millions on a 10, you know, he's probably the best option for us where we are as a club at the moment, because we have got other positions that, you know, should be prioritised really.
Yeah. I mean, there obviously there are other areas where we need to look at. But I still feel, though we've got Smith-Rowe there, that number 10 role is still one of the big areas for me.
Yeah, definitely.
But I think the biggest area of all, and I think every Arsenal fan saying it, is who's playing next to Partey.
Yeah.
Because we've got Granit Xhaka who's going out the door, hopefully, please. Like, when's he going? Like, if you're gonna do it time soon, you know what I mean? You've got. Let me try and think of it. Who have we got? You've got El Neni, who's he's great. He gives you a 6 out of 10, but that's about it. That's about it, really. Like, and there's not much else other than that. You got Aziz. I think he's not ready yet. He's too young. He's not even been introduced to the side or even introduced into Premier League football yet. So, for me, like, that area is probably the most vital area, because apart from Partey, we've got no midfield whatsoever.
Yeah, that's going to be. Would you have Aaron Ramsey back or anyone like that?
You know what? I would take Aaron Ramsey back, to be honest.
Yeah.
Not on the money he's on, but I'd take him back.
I wonder if he would go back. But
Yeah, I wouldn't go for any.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think he will.
So with Xhaka, sorry, go on, you speak on.
No, go on. Say, go for it.
I was going to say with Xhaka, I think like Xhaka, he is very underrated, but he's a bit hit and miss as well, isn't he? Like he can, he's the type of person that like he'll have a stormer of a game, but then get sent off, or he'll give a penalty away. He's just too risky of a player to have, I think.
Yeah, we got Brandon. How are you, mate?
Not bad yourself.
How you doing?
Hey,
love the new hairdo, man.
yeah, man. I thought football was coming home, didn't I? So I thought I'd get the Gaza, get the Phil Foden, and it didn't happen, mate. So I'm stuck with it now for a little while at least.
Let's not go into that, shall we? I was still upset from that night. How are you, my friend?
All right, mate. All right, not too bad. Arsenal transfer news is
Interesting,
and it, same as every season, really. I look at our transfers so far. I think we definitely needed a backup left back. The Tavares kid, he looked decent in his pre-season game that he played the other day, but you can never really tell how good a player is going to be until they start playing Premier League football. Lokonga, again, he didn't look too bad the other day, but again, you can never really tell until he gets playing Premier League football. And then Ben White, I think he's a decent player, but 50 million quid, everybody's on Twitter at the moment wanking one out, thinking he's better than Varane. Not for me. So, it's kind of we're in a different position to say Manchester United. A lot of Arsenal fans will be angry at the fact that a lot of people would say we're showing a bit of a lack of ambition, really, with the signings that we've made. But you got to understand, Manchester United are in a different position to us. They're looking to push for a league title, whereas we're just looking to get back in the top four. And I still believe, mate, that we're the 8th best team in the Premier League. Everybody else so far who finished above us has improved their squad better than us. And in order for us to get in the top four, mate, we're going to have to do a hell of a lot more in the next 17 days.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Fabrizio said Arsenal is in talks. He's talking with people close to Madison in Chris's stream. Oh, I forgot about Chris's stream. I was actually off the count. Shit. Do apologize, Chris. I'll double check that, and I'll have a lowdown on it. Steven, hope you're feeling well. I've been again about Madison again today. Yeah, the rumors are rife with Madison in a minute. But we'll just mention about Smith-Rowe's contract and the fact we've given him the number 10 shirt as well. What do you make of that? I don't really. It's a shirt number, in my opinion. I mean, obviously it is Bergkamp's number, but we're not comparing him to Bergkamp. But I think if he's been there and he's contributed already a lot to last season, give him the shirt. See what he's see if he can prove himself that he can prove his worth with that shirt. You can't do any different to the last one.
Who's the question to, mate?
Oh, it was to you.
Oh, to me, right? Yeah, it's an iconic shirt when you look at history at Arsenal. Like you said, Dennis Bergkamp, Paul Merson, even to an extent, you'd say Mesut Ozil being, the high-profile signing at the time. And let's be real, when he was at Real Madrid, he was one of the best number 10s in the world. Nobody can argue that. He was one of the best. He didn't really do it at Arsenal. So it's kind of like the number 10 shirt to me shows that it was like a token gift to Emile Smith-Rowe to basically state, you are the future of the football club. We want to keep you here. It just adds to the, I suppose, incentive for him in a way. And it's good that we're tying him down to new deal. We've got him tied down to a new deal. We've got Saka, Martinelli, So in that aspect, you know, you can say that the future looks good for Arsenal, because let's just say, you know, you never know what's going to happen, but let's just say a couple of these players, like your Smith-Rowes and your Sakas and that, eventually leave Arsenal. Because they're tied down to new deals now, we can command such high fees for them because of their age, because of the experience that they have in the Premier League. So either way, it's a win-win situation for Arsenal, no matter what happens, you know. So I'm looking at it now and I'm thinking, right, we've got some quality young players. There's no doubt about that. Now we need to add to that, and we need experience as well. You know, you pointed out earlier the midfield is a massive, massive problem at the moment. We need somebody next to Thomas Partey. We also need somebody who can play in that number 10 position as well, because as we found out last season, Emil Smith-Rowe cannot play every single game because he's just not there in terms of his fitness levels and all that sort of stuff in to be able to play a full season just yet. And we've got to remember he's a young kid. Not only that, I look at right back as well. We certainly need a new right back. There's a few rumours going about that possibly Cedric might be our new first choice right back if Hector Bellerin leaves. But I think the thing that's disappointed me the most about this transfer window isn't even the players that we've signed. It's the fact that we haven't yet got rid of anybody of note. I know that Granit Xhaka is, you know, pretty much a done deal. He's pretty much gone, you know, he's whatever. But until that paperwork's signed, until it is official, nothing's a done deal to me. And
I'm sorry,
I look
I'm not
at
laughing at you.
squad.
It's Anthony's comment. I'm sorry.
That's all right. But I look at our squad and I look at the players, you know, in particular players that have been here for a long time, players that have let us down on a consistent basis. Why are they still here? I mean, like, I know a lot of people are speculating about Willian as well, you know, because so far Arteta's played him in pretty much every pre-season game. And it's like, why is he doing that? Why, you know, a lot of people are saying that he's trying to get some sort of value from him so we can sell him on later on in this transfer window and get a bit of money back from him. But I just don't think that's going to happen. I think it's been such a poor deal with Willian that we need to write it off and just say, look, we'll tear up his contract. He can go elsewhere for free. And it looks to me like Arteta is still trusting in this guy, and that's quite worrying for me, you know.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Very worrying.
I think Willian.
Yeah.
Guys, I'd be honest with you, I think Willian is probably the worst Arsenal signing they've ever made, to be honest with you.
Ooh, I can think of worse.
His attitude, everything, he just doesn't want to be there, and no fan wants him there either, really. I'd never, you know, I think with Willian...
He said he doesn't want to be there, sorry.
Yeah, he's past, you know, what value does he bring to Arsenal, really? He doesn't bring anything to us. Just get these young, hungry players in, and why are we putting all these players on big contracts? It's frustrating.
Yeah, I mean, Saeed, how are you, mate?
I'm good. How you guys doing?
Yeah, not too bad. Yeah, Smith-Rowe, new contract with the number 10 shirt. What do you make of it, mate?
First of all, I think it's great for Arsenal that we have tied down Balogun, Tierney, Smith-Rowe, Saka, Martinelli. All of them are now on long contracts, so that's really good. I'm very happy for that. I prefer someone who loves the club, works hard, gets the number 10 shirt, then you buy someone and that person is only coming because of money and we give them that number 10 shirt. So to me, it's more of now it's up to Smith-Rowe to show that he deserves to be the number 10. It's up to him to now score more goals, create more assists, be a bit more consistent. But I still think that we need to sign another creative player, Smith-Rowe, as we know. He's only 20. He's turning 21, I think, this week. He has had injury problems a lot before, and you cannot rely on one player to be your main guy for the whole season. If
Sorry,
we
Say,
make that mistake again,
gotta cut you off 2 seconds because Marley's just turned up in the comments. Big up, Marley. Right, hope you're well, man. Right, hope you sort things out soon, man. You get back as soon as you can. Don't worry, mate. We've all got you covered here, so you take as long as you need. Right, big up, man. So, but yeah, carry on, Say.
yeah, so for me, we cannot continue making the same mistake and expect another result. We have to get a creative player. We have to get a partner to party. And I still think on top of that, we're going to need another CM, and we're going to need a right back and either a number one goalkeeper or a backup goalkeeper, depending on what's going to happen with Leno. Because for me, the midfield is the most important part of the pitch. If your midfield is solid, you will cover for your defenders. If your midfield is creating and dictating the game, you have a higher opportunity to win that game. The reason why we have struggled, and it's not very often you see Arsenal batter any team in the Premier League anymore, is because we haven't had good enough midfielders. Now it's fashionable to say that Granit Xhaka is not a bad player, really. I don't want to hear that. Before this season, everybody said that Granit Xhaka is not good enough for Arsenal. People have forgotten that he was benched by El Neni for a very long time, and that he made mistakes that led to goal once again against Burnley, against Leicester. He had that stupid red card. We lost 13 games. If he's so good, why are we so bad as a team when he plays in that pivotal role? So for me, we need to upgrade on Granit. We need a replacement for Torreira. So that's why for me, we need 2 CMs, one more offensive, one more defensive, and a number 10.
Yeah, absolutely. That's great to hear, Marty. You'll be back next week. That's absolutely, mate. Yeah, I mean, obviously the midfield problem is a massive problem at Arsenal at the minute. Give us, I mean, your one option. If you had one option to go for in the market right now, to go next to Partey, because I think that's probably our most important area, right? Who would be your one option? I'll start with Welsh Gooner.
I don't know. I really can't think, if I'm honest, guys. I'll be honest with you. I just really don't know who or where we go from here. I'd be more concerned, really, about the right back position with Bellerin and things like that. So I think the defence needs to get sorted before anything. I know we haven't got a midfield. Well, we have got a midfield, but it's a case of just getting someone who's young, hungry. I don't know. I really couldn't say, to be honest with you.
Yeah. What about you, Brandon? Who would you go for?
Is this for the position next to Thomas Partey? Is this what we're talking about?
Yep.
So there's 2 players, and it'd either be Basuma, who most Arsenal fans have been screaming for anyway. I do think Basuma and Partey are very similar in terms of attributes and aspects. I think you need somebody who can complement Thomas Partey. So the other player that I'd be leaning more towards would actually be Ruben Neves. We have been linked with him.
Do you know what?
I do like Ruben Neves, and I just think he'd add that little bit of calmness on the ball. He can find a decent pass. He can hit a decent free kick. He's good at taking set pieces. I just think it'd be another level up, and I would definitely look to invest in like a Ruben Neves. He's still very young. Still, I think he's only 20. Is he 25? Something like that.
Let me have a look at Ruben Neves. Have a look. I mean, he's 24.
24, but he brings bags of Premier League experience as well. You know, you can't look away at Premier League experience. I mean,
And
it's
Europa
like,
League experience.
for example, you know, you look at Manchester United. Let's look at Manchester United, for example. Yeah, everybody's bigging them up. They've just signed Varane. Chelsea are apparently in talks with Koundé. You know, but for a player that's never played in the Premier League before and never played at Premier League pace, you don't know how they're gonna be when they actually, you know, perform in the Premier League. Whereas as players like your Ruben Neves, James Maddison, and Ben White, they know the game. They know the pace of the Premier League. You know, they've been there and they've done it to a decent standard. So I don't know. Definitely Ruben Neves for me though. I would go Ruben Neves over Basuma. Yeah, just about.
Okay. Say, who would you go for?
Yeah, for me, my first choice is probably someone that would be a bit of a surprise because I do agree with Brandon. I think that if we buy Bissouma, we will have like Bissouma, Lukonga, and Partey, and all three of them are quite similar to each other. Before Lukonga, I wouldn't have mind Bissouma, but just because we bought Lukonga and we have Partey, I want someone who's more technical on the ball, who can dictate the game, who can play that true pass. And for me, that player would be James Ward-Prowse. I think he's a very underrated player. He's Premier League proven, homegrown. He's world class at set pieces. He always works hard. He's good on and off the ball, and he's never injured. I think he's the only player who's played 2 seasons, all games, and not missed 1 minute. So for me, I would like to have him. I wouldn't mind Ruben Neves. I also think he would probably be my second choice after James Ward, but he would be my number one.
Okay. Nitish, how are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm good, and it's good to see Brandon is finally a Granit Xhaka fan. He's got his Granit Xhaka look.
Oh, fuck.
Nitish, who would you go for?
Out of whom? Neves and?
Like no, just no. As who would you go? Who would you pick to go alongside Partey? Any player?
Right now from our team or based on the signings?
And no, any signing, but anything, even from our team or any signing, anyone that's a realistic target.
I think the option that we are probably going to end up with may be an OR. I wouldn't want him because I don't think he has done enough right now to prove his worth. But the formation probably we'll be playing will be a 4-3-3 next season, as per what Arteta has been hinting right now. So there will be 2 midfielders. One could probably be a Joe Willock if he's playing that role as a number 8 and box-to-box player. And maybe again, if OR is coming in, Partey would be the one playing deep for me, and these 2 guys would have the freedom to move forward. If Partey pushes forward, Joe Willock can stay back and try to hold the ball, defend the ball when there is a counter. So I think this is what is based on what we might get, because I don't see us getting any more bigger signings this season. All that talk about Maddison coming in and all those guys, I don't think it's going to happen. I just tweeted for fun Maddison with 2 timers, and people are retweeting it and liking it on Twitter. So I just did it for fun, listening to one of Igal's streams on which I was on like some minutes ago, and I just put it out for fun. And everyone is now like talking about it because I just put out a normal tweet. But I don't think it's going to happen. So realistically, it's going to be Thomas Partey and maybe like a Willock. And to an extent, if an OR comes in, maybe it will be a mixed bag there, like a shuffle between these guys. I don't see the likes of El Neni and anyone else getting into the team right now.
Yeah, I hear that. I mean, for me, actually, like it was. I don't think we're gonna get Basuma for me. While I still think it's just out there for me, I would say. I mean, Locatelli's come up recently, but my first bet is actually what Anthony first mentioned, which was Ruben Neves, who we were first linked to. I mean, if you're linked, I mean, it's not because I'm not basing off the fact he's been linked to Man United, but if you're getting links from Man United as well, you can't be that bad of a player if they're trying to push on to win the league. So, for me, he would have been a great sort of signing to go alongside Partey. So, for me, it would be Ruben Neves. So, but yeah, it depends what Arsenal want to go for, and it depends like how much also they're willing to spend. Apparently, from what I'm hearing, there's another 100 million they're willing to spend yet on players. I don't know if that's correct. I don't know if anyone wants to correct us on that. If that's not true,
I believe it when I see it, mate.
I believe it when I say it.
Yeah,
I think,
sorry, go ahead.
I think what I just wanted to like this. Natish was talking about Joe Willock. I like Joe Willock. I do like Joe Willock. I don't think that would be our victory partnership, though. I do think we will get another player, but you got to remember as well. I've seen a lot of Arteta's interviews recently, and he's been talking about having a mixed bag of players who are young, fresh, exciting, but also experienced as well. Now, I think a lot of people get it twisted when he says experienced and think that means we need a few older players like you David Luiz, for example, and you Williams and stuff. I think what he means by that is players with Premier League experience. So a Ruben Neves would be the perfect partner, in my opinion, for like Thomas Partey. He's got the Premier League experience. He's still young. He's he's a good player. He's gettable as well. He's not his price range is not out of this world. It is something that Arsenal could do. There's potential there. There is potential there, I think.
See, the problem with Ruben Neves, who's like someone's echo. Is it just me or Steven? Is it from your end?
Hang on. Yeah. Nice. Who is it? I think it's you, Brendan. I'll just put it on mute while Nitish talk. Go on, Nitish.
Yeah, so I was just saying the thing is with Ruben Neves, the problem is he is very similar to Granit Xhaka. He doesn't have the mobility that maybe a Locatelli has, and that is one major issue. Now, I don't mind getting Ruben Neves, but the thing is, you need to understand, the team wants to move forward. We want to grow away from a Granit Xhaka. We don't want a player similar to Xhaka. It's not just about replacing Granit Xhaka completely. It is also about having a player who, if needed, can progress forward, come back, who can do both things. Because we know Granit Xhaka can do only one thing. He can sit back and he can pass, like play the long ball. Because when he goes forward, he gets caught out of possession. So the thing out of position, and then there is a problem. There is the counter attack, which he can't cope with. Ruben Neves is very similar to a Granit Xhaka in that sense. And he also does not have that very quick agility, you can say, or he is quicker than Granit Xhaka to an extent, but he is of a very similar mold. Now, that is why when I say Joe Willock, I am saying that Thomas Partey will be the one who will distribute the ball sitting at the back. He'll not move forward that often. Joe Willock will be the workhorse who will be running forward, and he'll be creating and he'll be playing and he'll be getting into the box. Partey will do that occasionally when Willock will sit back, and they will interchange. Getting in a Ruben Neves does one thing. Ruben Neves will be asked to sit at the base of the midfield. He'll not move around too much. He will play the passes. But then what will happen is the only other outlet to take the ball forward, that is transition, will be Thomas Partey. And a lot of pressure will be on Thomas Partey. And even though he's been fitter now, last season he was very injury prone. He's way fitter right now. I don't want Partey to be doing everything in that midfield. It then becomes the same thing, like what used to happen with Granit Xhaka. Xhaka would be there and everyone around him would be doing a double shift. I don't want that to happen if you're getting a player like Neves.
Are we just another one as well? Like, just thinking, are we looking past a player that we could that we've already got that could be a possibility if he doesn't leave? Now, to me, it looks more likely that he will leave Arsenal. But what about Lucas Torreira? What about Lucas Torreira? At the end of the day,
hang on.
Bought Lucas Torreira as a partner, Thomas Partey. Could that be an option?
Yeah, I want to ask Welsh Gunnar. I'll ask Welsh Gunnar. What do you say about Lucas Torreira. Because I'm also trying to think of someone else as well. Is that, I mean, I'm not having him as a first option, by the way. Just put that out there. This is not a first option. This is like as a backup option because we need more depth in our midfield as well. It's not just about getting one significant player and saying, "Oh wow," and all our problems are solved. Because once if that player gets injured, we've got no one there. We need some more depth. And for me, I would rather have Willock as a backup and keep hold of Willock as a backup rather than letting him go back out on loan or selling him. Instead of having to either go out and pay more money for a backup, why not just keep him as a backup and then look for maybe a better option next season? After that, that's what I would say. But yeah, Welsh, I'll ask you about Torreira and then what I just suggested about Willock.
Definitely, I think with Torreira, as you said, you've got someone we've got already. He's quite, for me, Torreira is underrated, and I don't think he's been given much of a chance, really. I'd probably throw him in. Willock as well. I think with Newcastle, he's proved his worth. Same as Lingard with Man United. They haven't just sold him. They've literally taken Lingard back. And I think he was in, I know it's only friendlies, but obviously he was in the starting lineup yesterday or day before, was it? Or Saturday. But I just think, with Willock, he's definitely someone I would keep 100%.
Yeah. It depends if it does, because I think though with Torreira, it's more the fact that I don't think it's the fact that Arteta doesn't want to keep him. I think it's more the fact he said he's already, when he went back to Atletico Madrid, he was homesick. So I think that he does. He wouldn't want to come back to England anyway. He never felt he fitted in anyway. So I don't think that's kind of out of our hands, to be honest.
The thing is, as well, it's like the identity as well with Arsenal. I can't seem to put my finger on what way we're going to play and things like that at the moment as well. I think it just seems all dysfunctional. So I'm not really sure of what type of player to go for because, as I say, I every year, like with Arteta, it just seems we still seem to be building something, but it's still not showing the exact way we're going to play. What are we as a club?
I just want to say one thing. I can sum up Lucas Torreira's Premier League career in one picture, and I hope if you want, I can share it with you guys.
Oh God!
No, it's not. It's not that bad. If you want it, I'll share it with you, and you can share it with the guys. Okay, 1 second. It's my simple way of.
Hang on,
it's my simple way of. Sorry, go ahead.
No problems at all. Smash like all the quality of teams of central midfield is crazy in the league. For me personally, we need better than Torreira. To me, Torreira is already gone. He definitely wants to leave Arsenal permanently. Thought he was going back to Italy or moving to Argentina. Sadly, I've heard nothing of anything yet.
Okay, so Big Shaq here is the Premier League and the task that he has in hand, and Lucas Torreira is his short girlfriend. And that is what every time I think about Lucas Torreira at Arsenal, is the feeling that the task is just too big for him. So he's not up for the thing. I know it's a bad analogy, but this every time I think about Torreira, I remember this picture.
I'll leave that where that is. I'll leave that where that is. I've just looked at something just now, and I've looked on Twitter a little bit to see where this is coming from. I don't know if it's actually true or not, but obviously the striking position is another thing we're looking at, and people are going on about Tammy Abraham and all the rest of it. But someone else is just apparently that Arsenal made a approach for 77 million quid, and that's Lautaro Martinez from
Inter Milan.
Right.
Now this looks like to be, I don't know why he would come from Inter Milan, to be honest. I don't know why, but I'll just share it.
I'm just writing an article on it. Like I started off, I need to just finish it. They want. I can tell you what it is about. They want Bellerin. So we are trying to tell them that we are giving you Bellerin. You anyways want to get rid of your wage bill. You want to make some money. Sell us Martinez, and we'll take him because we need another striker. You get Bellerin. You get your right back. You be happy. We take your. We reduce your wage bill as well. So that is another win-win for you, and we give you a good amount of money as well.
Yes. Chelsea striker Tammy Abraham is on the short list, but the Champions League holders are demanding a £40 million fee. Arsenal are looking at alternatives, and according to the Telegraph, about Martinez, the report that Mikel Arteta is considering the Argentinian international is one of the options as a new striker, but Inter are keen to keep the player at San Siro. It's around about €90 million, £77 million asking price. If it's met, then they'll consider selling him. So, meanwhile, they are open to offers for Lacazette, would sell the French striker for a received bid of £15 million. £15 million. Are you taking the mick?
I told you we're not good at selling players, and
it is a joke. Why are we selling him for £15 million? It is kind of a joke why we can't seem to sell like Lacazette. I know we're not going to sell him for 50. Let's be honest, we're not selling him for 50, but 15 million. Are we serious?
we sold Martinez for 20.
That's what I was thinking. No, yeah, Martinez.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
Martinez is another example.
Let's not forget though Lacazette's age, and he's got 1 year left on his contract as well. He hasn't exactly torn it up since he's been at Arsenal. Yes, he's scored goals, but I think when you look at the contract length that he's got left, his age as well, you'd say 15 million is about right. And I think this Lautaro Martinez rumour could have a little bit of substance to it, because when you think about it, like Natish was just saying, they want Hector Bellerin. You know, you could say to him, right, take Hector Bellerin, we'll take Lautaro Martinez, reduce your wage bill a little bit, give you a nice sum of money as well. When you think about it, if you sold Lacazette for 15 million as well, really and truly, your outlay for that player would only really be about 50 million quid by the time you sold Bellerin and Lacazette as well. Now, the option's yours. Would you rather pay 40+ million pound for Tammy Abraham, or 50 million quid for Lautaro Martinez? Because I know which one I'd rather do. That Martinez is a top quality striker. Would he come to Arsenal? I'm not so sure, but there could be a bit of substance in that. Who knows?
The other thing is he's also 23. He wanted to move away from Inter and play at another club. Like maybe a move to the Premier League could be tempting. More money could also be tempting, because Inter Milan doesn't have the money. They will probably ask some of their players to maybe even take pay cuts. So that could be another concern. Inter Milan is interested in reducing. I just read the story coming in from one of the Italian outlets today. I forgot the name. That if Inter Milan is saying, if you want Lukaku, we want Havertz or Werner. So to Chelsea. So that is the kind of desperation that they have to get rid of the wages as well, because if Lukaku goes, his wages go along with that, and maybe Werner or or Havertz would cost less. So they are eager to sell some of their players because they want money. They want to sort out their wage bill as well. So if Arsenal is ready to spend, why would we spend on a Tammy Abraham who's not that good in comparison to a Martinez who's way better? We should just take this deal. He's 23 as well. He still has a decade to play for us if he signs for us. We could have him for a decade if it clicks.
That's the point. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's like I said, if there was a better option than Tammy Abraham, I'd go for it. Absolutely. So like this looks like a better option. So if this has actually got some substance to it, then Arsenal, do yourself a favour and get on with it before anyone else tries to jump on the bandwagon, because as soon as like it goes out, that's it. People start trying to jump in, and sort of all it takes with Arsenal, and people know this, is that all it takes is someone to jump in on the deal. and then that's it. It could be in the story for Arsenal because of where we are as a club. So everyone looks to be a lot of teams seem to be a much more better option to go to rather than Arsenal Football Club at the minute.
In this case, Steven, we are kind of safe because Barcelona wanted him. They don't have money, and other teams already have enough strikers. So he's not linked with anyone else. If Arsenal goes and gets the deal done, that is talks to Inter Milan, and they talk to Inter and get things done, it could happen because there is no other club right now who's interested in the player. It's just that evaluation of Inter is what we have heard about, and there is no challenge for him right now. So it could be a good buy with less or no competition at the moment. But the only thing is, will we be paying, and how Inter will take that money? Will they take it in parts? If they take it in parts, we'll probably buy him. If they don't take it in parts, they ask for more money up front, we won't.
Yeah. I mean, the other sort of thing we're looking at is the other area we're looking at is obviously as a goalkeeper because Runnelson's not good enough. Matt Ryan's gone, and the main sort of story that's coming out of that is fucking Ramsdale.
and Runnelson's deal today, like it didn't happen. It broke down.
Yeah. So, Welsh Gunnar, what do you make of Ramsdale?
Oh, I'm just still pissed off about the Martinez thing, really, to be honest with you. Like, how did you end up selling him to Aston Villa? And it's just frustrating, honestly. Ramsdale, I'm not so sure. I don't know. I'd probably get David Seaman out of retirement, if I'm honest, before Ramsdale.
Well, yeah, Ramsdale sums it in a nutshell. We were doing so well until that point. We weren't doing that bad in terms of the transfer window. Then we decided to go get Ramsdale. Brandon, help us out here.
I don't know what to say, mate. Well, the only thing I can say is that it just highlights how poor our business was last summer. When you think about it, we signed Willian, it hasn't worked out. We sold Martinez, and now we're looking to bring in a goalkeeper who's not even on anywhere near the level of Emi Martinez at the moment for more money. And it's like, it doesn't make any sense at all. We made so many mistakes the last transfer window, it's unbelievable. And now we've got to try and correct them as well. So a lot of people might say Arsene Wenger and Unai Emery left us in a mess, and that's fair. But Arteta and Edu kind of put us in a deeper mess because now look at some of the positions that we're trying to sort out now. They should have been sorted last summer, and they wasn't because we invested our money badly again. So Ramsdale, it's in the name, mate. Aaron Ramsdale. When you hear Aaron Ramsdale, I don't think anybody would get excited by that. You know what I mean? I think he's an okay goalkeeper. Is he better than Leno? No. Would he be a decent backup? Probably. But it's a lot of money to outlay on a backup goalkeeper. Do you know what I mean? So we haven't got any European competitions either. We've got the Premier League and the FA Cup and the League Cup to concentrate on. Do we desperately need a backup goalkeeper? No, not really. When you think about the competitions that we're in this season, so yeah, if something was to happen to Leno, then we'd be in a bit of a sticky situation, of course, because we haven't got a backup goalkeeper. But it's kind of like, if you're outlaying that sort of money on a goalkeeper, then surely that means that Leno's leaving. And if that is the case, then we need a lot better than that. A lot better than that.
Yeah, we need a lot better than Ramsdale should not have even come in the conversation at any point.
What about someone like Jordan Pickford? Someone like that?
They won't sell him. No way
What's
Everton
it?
is selling him.
Yeah, they want to sell him, but after what I've seen in the Euros, it's not a bad option. It could be worse.
There are at least 10 goalkeepers right now available who are better than Ramsdale, including Sam Johnston. You could name them. Like PSG has around 7 goalkeepers, including Navas as well, and I think one more guy, Areola, is there. There are so many people. Romero is available for free, who left Manchester United. If you want from Manchester United, get Dean Henderson on a loan. If you need a second choice goalkeeper, there are so many players so many goalkeepers available.
We know that. We know there's so many players better than.
Yeah.
I think.
No,
I
I'm
think
saying
you could
available.
beat
I'm
that.
saying available. We
Yeah.
can realistic options. I don't know where we find the one goalkeeper who's absolute crap, who's conceded around 150 goals in 2 seasons, and we get linked with him when there are so many easy options available.
Well, who makes the? I mean, who makes the decisions when it comes to these transfers?
I mean, I don't know whether you guys know because I didn't really watch much of Aaron Ramsdale last season. Is it
No,
because is he good with his feet? Is that what it is? Because
no,
that's
I don't
where
think it
that's
is.
where let's be honest, that's where Leno lets us down. His distribution and his foot. He's not that great with his feet. Is it because Ramsdale's better with his feet, or I don't? It doesn't make no sense. It does not make no sense.
His distribution and maybe ball playing ability is way better than Leno. That's all it is. But apart from that, he's not a good goalkeeper. He was shit for Sheffield. They had their other problems, but the goalkeeper wasn't helping them either. He couldn't do anything with Bournemouth. Bournemouth got relegated. Sheffield got relegated. That should be a hint for everyone who wants Ramsdale. Take a hint. There is nothing good about him. He's okay at the you can say worst case scenario, but when you need other players in other positions, you can't spend 40 million on a goalkeeper. You don't have European football, so just get a cheap goalkeeper. And everyone knows that Sam Johnston is also available. West Brom wants to get rid of him, so just go and buy him.
Yeah, what would you pick? I mean, what do you make of Sam Johnston then as another option?
I haven't seen much of him, if I'm honest. But to be honest, I was just going back with Leno now. I think if we can get someone as cover for Leno, I mean, I don't really know, to be honest. I mean, who have we got? We've got Ragnarsson. We've got who's under Ragnarsson? Any youth team goalkeepers coming through?
Oh, fucking hell. Now you got me on the spot.
The thing is, like, I'd rather keep the money and try and build the young players through and bring the young players through rather than like just go and just buy a goalkeeper who potentially could turn out shit anyway. And then we back to square one. Just start investing in the positions that we need first. And then
the other one is on Konku.
I haven't seen
him. I saw
he
his
was
first
decent.
game.
Is it?
Why
not give him a chance?
I saw his game against Hibs. I saw his mistake against Hibs. It wasn't exactly, but it didn't fill me a lot of confidence.
Yeah, the thing is, one mistake, and as a keeper nowadays, one mistake, and that's it. You know, but if you work with them and stuff, who knows, isn't it?
Yeah, I wouldn't want to rely on him though. I wouldn't want to rely on him. That wouldn't be fair. Who else we got in the academy? There's Hilson, Smith.
No, those guys aren't good enough. He's the only one. Okonkwo is the only one. He started the
only other one. I'm saying all the rest of them are in. I said who's in the academy. I'm just going through them.
Yeah.
Nelson, Smith.
Those guys are probably going out on on loan. Yeah, sorry.
Kreshek and Hein, those are all academy players. So yeah, those players you can't rely on them at all. It's not they're saying they're crap. It's the fact that they're still in the youth squads. You can't rely on them to get us out of a hole with this. You need to go out and get a goalkeeper, a reliable goalkeeper at that. Even if it's just an experienced goalkeeper that's a 32-year-old that last 2 seasons or two, just like any half decent goalkeeper will do. Big up. Will Arsenal make Europa League? That's the big question, isn't it? I think that's the main target for Arsenal, isn't it? What do you say, Brandon?
No. Not
No.
with the. Well, you'll have to ask me that question again at the end of the transfer window, because
Yeah.
I believe that there's going to be a lot more business being done from all Premier League clubs, well, all football clubs, over the next, 5-10 days, because it's getting close to, August now, start of the season and that. I think you will start to see the transfer window move a bit quicker. But as things stand right now, even if we was to get, say, a Ruben Neves, for example, I still don't believe that we could even break into the top 6, because we haven't invested to the degree that the other top 6 teams have. And apart from Spurs, you would say that pretty much all of them have invested better than us so far. Liverpool got a decent squad already. I believe they'll be, up there again next season. Manchester City, we know all about Man City. They've got strength and depth in every bloody position. Man United, they've just brought Varane and Sancho, and they are looking to get a midfielder as well. So they mean business as well. Of course, Leicester, they always do decent transfer business as well.
They've already
They
done
always
that.
end up finding these gems that turn out to be absolute ballers. So I just look at it and I just think we're the 8th best team in the league still. We've spent a little bit of money so far. I think for us to be able to challenge for top 4 again, we need to not only sign a Neves, we need a right back, a decent right back at that as well. We need a James Maddison, and we need a striker to even think about top 4, let alone anything else.
Yeah. Well, Schooner, what do you say? I was all ended on this topic.
I can't see it happening personally. I think with Arteta at the moment, it just seems all dysfunctional. There's no. We just have. All right. I don't know. It's frustrating, guys. I think if we don't, I think the way the season's going to go, the first couple of games. Who have we got the first game? Is it Man City? Is it
Brentford?
Then it's Brentford the first game.
It's Brentford. I think it's Chelsea after that.
Yeah, I thought it was a big club. Chelsea, basically. I think I'll give Arteta probably 10 games.
So
and I think it's going to be a
just
case.
go for it. It's Brentford, Chelsea, Man City, Norwich, Burnley. That's 5. Then Tottenham and Brighton. That's 7. Crystal Palace, then Aston Villa. That's 9. Leicester is 10. Watford is 11. Liverpool 12.
Isn't it?
13, 14. The first 14 games we played the top 6. Played the top 6.
The thing is, you've got to get off to a good start as well, and if he doesn't, I think the fans are going to get on his back. Confidence is going to go down. Then we'll probably end up having another manager. Then, same as every year, we're back to fucking square one. Then
the problem is, if he doesn't do it this time, I'm sorry, there can't be any more excuses for it.
No, exactly.
It can't be.
Arteta is in a predicament now, because if we don't sign any more players this transfer window, he'll be sacked by November. Yeah, because the squad that he's got is not good enough. It's as simple as that.
He's not confident enough to do that, though. And
then if he buys, say, a Maddison, and he invests heavily, let's say overall we spend, I don't know, 150, 200 million pound, and by November we're still no better off than what we have been, he'll be sacked anyway. So I believe that Mikel Arteta will no longer be Arsenal manager come November, December anyway, no matter what happens, because it's the cycle, Arsenal.
Yes.
They should have got rid of him after the Europa League semi-final, against Villarreal. They should have looked at rebuilding then. And I'm just sitting here tight, waiting for the excuses to come out, because I know what's coming. Because it's the same at Arsenal every single year. It doesn't matter whether it's Mikel Arteta as manager or whether it's bloody Arsene Wenger. It's the same bullshit excuses every single year. So just strap in. That's all I'm going to say. It's just strap in.
Yeah, this is why I don't say, but I don't buy anything that you do. You want it, like, as much as I want Arteta out, and Arteta is as much of a problem as anyone, as much as he's a problem as well as the board is. Like the board is basically a representative of the owner, and the board exactly what the owner wants, which is stay afloat and act as basically as a free asset for them. So, if you want the owner gone, not make it a sustainable asset. Well, we need to stop spending. The only reason it's been a sustainable asset is because we spend how much on merchandise, how much on tickets, how much on this and that. Right, stop spending on it. As soon as as soon as the kits come out, there's people on there's Twitter, on YouTube, they're putting the pictures all out of them, and I'm like, no, don't buy it. What are you doing? Why are you advertising it? And they're like, oh, if we get Maddison, I'm like, even if we got Maddison, if you want change and you want this to stop, right, and you want your managers to stay, right, and you want Arsenal to be back and great again, right, stop spending the money, because that's what they're here for. They want it to be sustainable, and you're making it sustainable. So stop it.
Arsenal fans are fickle, though, mate. You know, this is the thing.
They all give all this, but they don't do any action.
Next season, I'm not Arteta out. You know, I'm not Arteta out because, in my opinion, he should have gone in bloody December last season. And if he didn't go in December last season, so he definitely should have gone after the Europa League semi-final embarrassment against Villarreal. Now, is it Arteta's fault that he's still here now? No, it's not. It's not. If you're Mikel Arteta and you're getting paid X amount of money per year,
you gotta go.
And all this, that, and you wouldn't leave, would you? He's not gonna just resign. It's not like he's an Arsenal legend who really cares for the football club. I know he played for Arsenal, but he's not the person who is going to think, am I really the right man for this football club? He'll try his hardest and he'll do his best that he possibly can. Of course he will, but he's not going to look at the situation and think, right, maybe I should give the reins over to somebody else. He's not that type of person. He's very arrogant. He's very self-centered. You get that type of vibe from him, which is fine, but it's not his fault no more, mate. It's not his fault no more. At the end of the day, why is he still here? The owners, the board have decided to keep him here. And if it don't work out, I don't want to hear anybody going at Mikel Arteta's throat, because that is completely and utterly unfair, in my opinion. It's the people who have kept him here. You know, how many Arsenal fans, let's be honest, out of all the whole fan base, after the Europa League semi-final defeat against Villarreal, you can't name me one Arsenal fan, apart from maybe Ty from AFTV, who wanted Mikel Arteta to stay. That means every Arsenal fan, including the ones that were Mikel Arteta in, had accepted that it was time for him to go and he hadn't done a good enough job. Yet this board and this owner has continued to keep him here. So it's not his fault anymore. From what happens next season is not Mikel Arteta's fault. Simple as that.
I think Ty even suggested that it's not right for him to stay after that. I think he said in his interview afterwards, if I remember. I might have to double check that. But anyway, I make you right. It's not. I can hear your point. It's not going to be his fault, but it's not going to probably stop me having a go at him. As if it all goes perfectly. It probably ain't.
No, but I want to add one thing to. Yeah, I want to add one thing to Brandon's point. The problem is not that they still have him here. The problem is that if they have him here, he should have been backed, and he hasn't been, because they wanted him. Josh Kroenke wanted him to replace Arsene Wenger. He should have been backed. Lokonga, Tavares, and the only main signing that we have, you can say a big money signing, is Ben White. Lokonga and Tavares are long-term prospects. They're not going to probably be even playing in the first team regularly. He should have had at least 2 or 3 first team signings. No, I'm saying this season, this window, because last season was 8. So obviously, when you know that if you want to challenge for a top 4 or a top 6, you need to back the manager. You need to give him 2 or 3 good first team players who will start every game and make the difference.
Transfers from last season.
No, but last season we finished 8th. So that means
he should have been from the all the time he's
last season. I feel he was back to an extent that, but still we finished 8th. Now, if you are saying that you finished 8th in the last season, that means that you need to get more players into your squad, get rid of Deadwood, which we have failed to do completely. Getting some of the Deadwood has been bought out. So that is another thing. We didn't even sell some of them. The other thing is, at least even ignore what you do with the sales. That is a different thing. But when you know that you have finished 8th in the last season, any manager, whether it is Arteta, whether it is Emery or Wenger, after an 8th finish in the league, you need to back the manager so that the team is replenished and reinforced enough so that the next season it does not happen. So far, these 3 signings do not show that. Only one that you can probably say 50 million for Ben White is maybe a signing where they're trying to get in a first team player. But Lokonga and Tavares are not first team players. They have not signed more than 1 first team player till now. And it's just how many? 1 week left for the season a couple of weeks left for the season to start. So even if you may not be Arteta in, you may be Arteta out. At the end of the day, the manager hasn't been back till now. What they do now in the next 2 weeks can make a difference. Whether we can do something with those signings then or not is a different thing. But at least the owners and the management needs to get the signings to the club. After that, whether Arteta makes use of them, he can do something with them or not is a different thing. But there is no intent of signing players so far.
Yeah, no, yeah. I agree. I agree exactly with what he was saying. And look, the easiest way to explain it is, how do you run a successful business? Yeah, 90% of running a successful business is planning and preparation, good planning and preparation. Yeah, and organisation, and then 10% of it is hard work. And it's exactly the same with running a club like Arsenal. And expecting results and certain things on the football pitch. Good planning, good organisation could have put us in a better position in this transfer window. It was clear to see that back in February, March time last season, we was not qualifying for the top 4. So, and we was having players who let us down last season, like they've let us down the year before, and the year before that, and the year before that. Why was we not planning and preparing for this transfer window? Because again, to me, it's looking like Tavares was probably a target anyway, because we needed a backup left back. Everybody could see that. Lokonga, yeah, again, up and coming, like Natisha's just said. And Ben White was probably a target as well. But were they all top of the list? I don't think so. And it just looks like bad preparation, bad planning for Arsenal again. It looks like we're going to go into August and we're going to, by the end of the transfer window, we're going to be frailing around again, looking for cheap options and panic buys. You know, it just stinks of that again, mate. It really does. No planning, no preparation. It's just, it's poor, real poor.
Yep. Yeah, I hear that. But we'll wait and see. Quickly answer this before we wrap up. Just quickly answer this. Would you take Bernardo Silva
over which signing? Like over which signing? Maddison?
Just would you buy him?
See, the thing is, if it is between Maddison and Bernardo, I don't mind taking Bernardo Silva, because he can do something for us and he can create. We need creativity. But if buying Bernardo Silva means that we are not buying another, maybe say a box-to-box midfielder, or we are leaving a void in another slot that we really need to fill, then I don't need him, because we got enough quality up front. We got Saka, Smith-Rowe, we got Pepe up front. We can have, these guys can play. We got Lacazette there as well. So then I don't want to leave a void in our midfield to get a Bernardo Silva. But if we are buying a midfielder as well, and say maybe instead of James Maddison, we are getting Bernardo Silva, I would take him. That makes more. That is okay. That is understandable and acceptable.
I get both. I'll get both, to be honest.
I would take Bernardo Silva, but I don't think he plays in the position that we need desperately right now. If it came up to it and it was a choice between Maddison or Bernardo Silva, I'd lean more towards Maddison, purely and simply just because I think he would fit the system a lot better. And like Natisha just said, we've got players like Saka, like Pepe, Martinelli. Do we need a Bernardo Silva? I'm not so sure.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But I'm gonna wrap it up there. I feel, because I've got to jump on my own stream in 15 minutes time. So don't know what you're talking. Yeah, but make sure to, like Matt says, smash the like, all people, and please subscribe. Nice to see Steven smiling. Funny. Great show, guys. Yep, thank you. And hopefully, Marley will be back next week with us. And yeah, he will take over. I can go out for a lie down. But yeah, thanks, Brandon, for coming on. Pleasure having you as always. Thanks for coming on the Tish as always. And thanks to everyone in the chat. Big up, and we will be back. I think Matt will be back on Thursday with the United Across the Globe. And Marley, Steven, probably, maybe, yeah. Yeah, I can do that. But yeah, yeah, we'll see you at Foot United TV. We'll see you on Thursday. Right? If you want to see me, I'll be on in about 10 minutes time on my own channel, SFeatley TV, with the Liver Awareness Show. But until then, take care, stay safe, and we'll see you soon. Bye bye.